Dumbing Down America. The Roman poet Juvenal wrote, "Give them bread and circuses." By that he meant keep people occupied with basic needs and frivolous activities. That way they won't have time to think about things that really matter, nor will they be able to figure out why the world is the way it is and who and what are pulling the strings. Such is the condition of North American society today. According to Nielsen ratings, the average person watches 5 hours of television per day, and as people get older, they watch more. At the top of the list are sports, sitcoms, and talk shows. Between television, radio, smartphones, and other electronic devices, the average American 18 years and older spends more than 11 hours occupying their minds per day. Reading books only accounts for approximately 25 minutes of time spent per day. At the top of the Nielsen statistics were organizational books and adult coloring books. Are you getting a picture of the mind of the average North American? Can you see what Juvenal was talking about? The average North American wastes what little spare time they have on intellectual garbage. To further illustrate my point, one need look no farther than YouTube. For example, Wikipedia lists the top 30 videos watched on YouTube. Can you guess what they are? Every single one is a pop music video. Need I say more? Stupid stuff on social media is right up there too. People making fools of themselves, and bloopers. Needless to say, the dumbing down of North American society is a foregone conclusion. What does this mean? It means that the worldview of the average North American is determined by the quantity and quality of their intellectual input. Ever heard the expression garbage in, garbage out? That's what I'm talking about. How does this apply to the average North American's ability to analyze the world around them, the events, the issues, and the conversations? Let me give you an example. Pope Francis recently addressed the United States Congress. On the surface, the things he said sounded pretty good. Yet, if one understands the history of the papacy, the global political status of the Vatican and its goals, Roman canon law, historic Protestantism, and the reasons for the Constitution of the United States of America, Pope Francis's message to Congress becomes very disturbing. Yet, when he finished, there was nary a dry eye in the house. The applause and approval for this king of a foreign country called Vatican City was overwhelming. To better understand this, you must ask the following questions. Why was the leader of a foreign country addressing the United States Congress? What unseen power does this Pontifex Maximus exercise that allows him to overshadow the Constitution of the United States, a document designed to protect America from the agenda of such foreign powers? How do we correctly interpret Pope Francis's speech to Congress? Do we apply a superficial understanding to his carefully crafted words? Or do we base our understanding on the real meaning behind his words, on solid historic knowledge of the man called Pope and his organization? Do we have the historic foundation and good sense to recognize a verbal delivery of a coded papal bull or encyclical? I fear that based on what we know about the predominant worldview of the average American who wastes their intellectual assets on circuses like television and other mindless media, they do not understand what the Roman pontiff meant when he addressed Congress, nor do they understand the dire significance of that unprecedented event. And I venture to say that they do not comprehend the real reasons that most of those in attendance approved the papal presence and message, rather than expressing justifiable outrage at his usurpation of legal authority to address Congress. I'm afraid that a nation absorbed in frivolous amusement is, by and large, not equipped to adequately answer these questions. Rather, it will respond from the intellectual void occupying the majority of its time and thoughts. And the resounding echo of that intellectual void, sadly, is one of profound ignorance. The frog is being slowly boiled, and it is completely unaware that its demise is a foregone conclusion. It mindlessly and happily advances towards its doom. Let me leave you with one last thought. An intellect of any capacity is only as smart as the information or data that it pushes between its gray cells.